grew up in Bogota, Colombia, during the most violent times in the history of our country. And I think most people remember Pablo Escobar, the narco traffic, terrorist attacks, and a lot of violence in the country. Explosions and kidnappings every day was part of what we lived in my country while I was a child or a teenager. My mom was always instilling the value of helping others and helping the communities. How could we as a family help other people in need? My dad, he always focused on education, really helping us thinking about, this is a very difficult time for our country, but you can do better. And because of his job, so my dad had the opportunity to travel abroad. And I remember just ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, he would tell me about life in different countries. While my brother and my sister were more excited about the gifts, I was more interested in the story. And I remember that contrast between what I heard from my dad's experiences, but also what I saw in the pictures and what you see every single day in Colombia, thinking there's got to be a better place and a better life for all of us. And I remember there was a turning point in my life. I was at an economics class in college, and we were listening to the class when suddenly there was an explosion and the entire building shook up. I remember it felt like an earthquake, and the teacher stood up and he looked at everybody and he said, "Is everybody okay?" And I remember all of us saying, "Yes, we are." After a few seconds, he said, "Okay, let's continue with the class." So at that point in time, I looked back and I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is becoming so much part of our lives every day that we are desensitized." And I remember the thought to say, I gotta do something different. I've gotta further my education. I've gotta be in a position where I can help and where I can make a difference. I ended up joining the company in August 2002, and I have been with Cargill for almost 16 years. I love the fact that anywhere in the world we focus on nourishing the world, but we also take care of our employees and the community. I lived in Managua, Nicaragua for about a year. So Nicaragua is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. TechnoServe is an example of a partner that we have in Nicaragua or Central America that helps us in really thinking strategically as to how can we help with education and nutrition. My husband volunteered for the entire year working with TechnoServe, and they were just thinking about how do we provide education for single moms who are also business owners. Both my parents have gained a huge appreciation for Cargill, and they feel very proud of that, so they also want to help. When we lived in Nicaragua, my mom stayed with us for about a month, and she participated in many activities through the Cargill Cares Committee, feeding kids in underprivileged communities, or also making meals for families when we needed. I bring my children with me because I want them to see life in different parts of the world and how difficult it is for families who are not as privileged as we are. And I believe that my children are going to be better human beings because of the experiences they've had. Growing up in a place where it's hard to know if you're going to be alive or not, just having the job that I have and the opportunity to make a difference and the opportunity to impact so many people's lives every single day in a positive way, it is a blessing for me.